Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Today we're tackling a concept that is literally so easy to say, but kind of impossible for our brains to actually picture. We're talking about the true scale of massive numbers. We hear these gigantic figures thrown around in the news every single day, right? Whether it's about global populations, astronomical distances, or those huge government budgets. But here's the thing, our human brains just aren't wired to process their actual weight. So by the end of this presentation, we're going to take these abstract, almost incomprehensibly massive numbers and transform them into visceral, deeply human time. You are literally going to feel the exact physical weight of these magnitudes.
Okay, let's dive into this. I want you to genuinely try and guess the answer to this question in your head before we reveal the math here. If I ask you right now, exactly how long is a million seconds? What about a billion seconds? Or a trillion seconds? We use these words interchangeably all the time, kind of acting like they're just normal, equal steps on a staircase. So just take a second, lock in your guess, and let's see just how close your intuition actually is to the mathematical reality.
All right, section 1, the scale of magnitudes, grasping 1 million. We've got to establish a comfortable baseline here before things get completely crazy.
1 million. 6 zeros. It's a big number, sure, but one we're honestly pretty familiar with, right? $1 million, 1 million views, 1 million subscribers. Visually, it's very tidy. But what actually happens when we convert that neat little one with 6 zeros into the steady ticking of a clock? How long do we actually have to sit around and wait for 1 million seconds to pass?
Well, here is the exact breakdown. 1 million seconds is exactly 11 days, 13 hours, 46 minutes, and 40 seconds. Just let the granularity of those hours, minutes, and seconds really sink in for a moment. It's not an eternity. It's a very specific, totally manageable chunk of time that we have all experienced many, many times over. So the crucial point here is 1 million seconds is really just a couple of weeks. Think about it. If you were to start a timer for 1 million seconds, you could go on a really nice short summer vacation. You pack your bags, fly out to the beach, spend over a week just totally unplugged, relaxing by a pool, maybe reading a couple of books, having some nice dinners out. Then you pack up, head back home, get ready for work, and right about when you finish unpacking your bags, that timer would go off. It's an incredibly relatable time frame. That couple of weeks, that is our baseline. Keep that in mind.
Moving on to section 2, grasping 1 billion, breaking the baseline. Fair warning, that comfortable baseline we just set, it's about to completely shatter. 1 billion. Look at those 3 extra zeros. Mathematically, sure, it's exactly 1,000 times bigger than our previous milestone. And yeah, it's super easy to just draw 3 extra little circles on a page, but I want you to really try to imagine just how much time that actually adds to our clock. If 1 million was a nice, short vacation, what on earth do those 3 tiny little extra zeros do to the human experience? Let's move to the math and see how this builds. In step 1, we leap from just 11 days all the way to 11,574 days. In step 2, we convert those massive days into years, and suddenly, we are staring at roughly 31 years. And for step 3, just to be entirely perfectly precise, 1 billion seconds is exactly 31 years, 251 days, 1 hour, 46 minutes, and 40 seconds.
Wow. Let that psychological jump hit you for a moment. We literally went from a couple of weeks straight into the heavy weight of half a lifetime. 31 years. Think about everything that happens in 31 years. You start in the crib, learning to walk and talk. You go through elementary school, high school, maybe sitting there in a graduation cap and gown. You navigate your turbulent 20s, start a career, meet a partner, and honestly, perhaps even start a family of your own. All of that incredibly rich, dense human experience, from the crib all the way to full adulthood, happens in the space of 1 billion seconds. That is the profound, almost scary power of adding just 3 zeros.
All right, buckle up. Section 3, grasping 1 trillion, the mind-blowing reveal. We are arriving at the real suspenseful climax here. 12 zeros. Just hold on that for a second. Let the sheer visual weight of this number totally overwhelm you. We hear millions, billions, and trillions used in the exact same sentence on the news all the time, right? It makes them sound like they're just next-door neighbors or simple stepping stones. But watch what happens to our human timeline when we tack on these final 3 zeros. I mean, the jump here absolutely defies all common logic. Step 1, we explode out to 11,574,074 days. Step 2,
We convert that massive sum, and it becomes 31,688 years. Step 3, plus an extra 32 days. I can't even believe it when I say it. It is a profound, honestly terrifying leap from 31 years directly to over 31,000 years. The math is simple, but the reality is just staggering.
Section 4. The ultimate comparison, putting it all together. Now, what's really interesting about this next part is we are finally going to see all three of these numbers directly compared side by side.
Let's meticulously read through this comparison row by row to truly contrast this sheer scale. Okay, so 1 million gives us roughly 11.57 days. That's a tiny, tiny fraction of a year, 0.032 years to be exact. Then 1 billion rockets us up to 11,574 days, bringing us to roughly 31.7 years. And finally, 1 trillion hits over 11.5 million days, landing at 31,688 years. I mean, just sit in quiet awe of that raw data for a second. And this brilliantly illustrates the reality of the math. If you try to chart this out, that third measurement completely breaks the visual scale. The million, it doesn't even register as a single pixel. The billion, representing an entire young adult's life, is just this tiny little bump down at the very bottom. The trillion absolutely dwarfs the others, literally shooting off the top into an entirely different stratosphere of time.
Before we drop the final staggering realization on you, let's just quickly remind ourselves of those deeply human anchors we established earlier. Remember, 1 million seconds is just a couple of weeks, a really nice short break from work. 1 billion seconds jumps to half a lifetime, enough time to literally grow up and start your own family. That was a massive leap in its own right, but firmly rooted in a single human experience.
But then, here is the ultimate mind-blowing fact. 1 trillion seconds is longer than all of recorded human history. Just let that sink in. Think of literally every empire rising and falling, the construction of the pyramids, the entire Roman Empire, the Renaissance, every single war fought, every invention from the wheel to the printing press, all the way up to the smartphone and artificial intelligence. All of it. The absolute entirety of recorded human history fits perfectly comfortably inside of 1 trillion seconds, and you still have thousands of years left to spare. So, what does this all actually mean? I want to leave you with this provocative final thought. Why do we so casually use words like millions, billions, and trillions interchangeably in our daily lives? We just toss them around when we're talking about economic budgets or global populations. Yet the strict math reveals a terrifying chasm between a quick couple of weeks and the absolute entirety of human history. Next time you hear the word trillion, I really hope you remember this explainer, and I hope you actually feel the profound weight of 31,688 years. Keep questioning, keep visualizing, and we'll see you next time.